Hey, today I'll be talking about episodes 23 through 25 of YanXi Palace. The emperor hosts a tea party with some assorted brothers and uncles. The center of attention is 5th Prince, the emperor's little brother. I'm gonna call him by his name, Hongzhou. Hongzhou has built himself quite a reputation as a weirdo. Most recently, he had a coffin made and hosted his own funeral, forcing his family to act like they were grieving as he sat off to the side and laughed. And to be fair, I feel like we've all wanted to know what our funerals would be like. The laughing though, uncalled for. He's also very quick to anger and always getting into fights. It's clear that the emperor indulges, or at least tolerates, Hongzhou's strange and often violent personality. During the tea party, Hongzhou pretends to be poisoned, scaring the other men into forcing themselves to vomit. So yeah, a mean, spoiled brat with the backing of the most powerful man in the land. That's right, we have found our culprit. I was kind of thinking it would be someone hiding under our noses this whole time, but I guess it makes more sense that it was someone Yingluo hadn't met yet. As Hongzhou heads home one night during a thunderstorm, he sees what looks like a ghost and freaks out, having flashbacks to the night he attacked Aman. Fu Hong finds him and very quickly puts together that Yingluo must have been behind this, wanting to see his reaction to confirm whether or not it was really him. Of course, he already knew it was Hongzhou since he switched clothes with him that night, but now Yingluo has figured it out too. In private, the emperor thinks about his little brother. Hongzhou has been sickly since he was young, which is why he's never been a contender for the throne. That is what has managed to keep him alive all these years and safe from the infighting that has taken all but 3 of the previous emperor's sons. Which is why the emperor has always had a sneaking suspicion that he faked the illness and continues to fake his outlandish personality to keep himself safe.
就五爷这荒唐劲，他要装，他也装不出来啊这。
Realizing that Yingluo will never give up on enacting her revenge, and Hongzhou is far too dangerous to mess with, Fu Hong chooses the nuclear option. He tells Hongzhou everything and arranges a meeting between Hongzhou and Yingluo with the Empress there as well to oversee it. Fu Hong tells Yingluo that Hongzhou was drunk that night and made a mistake, but he swears he wasn't the one who had her killed after the fact. Hongzhou gives the least convincing apology I've ever heard and tosses some money at her. He also says he will marry her sister posthumously, giving her a concubine title in death and legitimizing the whole thing. Because I'm sure that's what she would have wanted, to be married to her rapist. Fuck you. Just as Yingluo is walking out of the room, her father walks in. He has already taken Hongzhou up on his offer in addition to a promotion for himself.
用自己亲生女儿的性命换取锦绣前程，感觉怎么样？
璎珞，你还是这样的倔强。
Her father has already accepted Hongzhou's offer, so there's nothing Yingluo can do, and she's even forced to thank Hongzhou. But anyone with eyes can see that this will not be the end of this. With that ordeal over, Yingluo leaves without a word.
璎珞，
傅恒，站住！
The Empress is disappointed in Fu Hong for putting Yingluo in this position, but he insists that this was the only way for her to be safe.
若璎珞执意要报仇，会落得什么下场？我只要她平安。
Oh, I mean, but oh. Yingluo goes to the medicine department to find Dr. Ye, who is very frustrated. None of the other physicians respect him as an equal, and he's only allowed menial tasks. Which makes sense, they went through years of examinations while Ye, in their eyes, just got a lucky break. Yingluo is happy to be his first patient and tells him she's been suffering from headaches and insomnia. He gives her the recipe for ye olde NyQuil. Despite all the harm he's done, the only punishment Hongzhou got from the emperor was a grounding, and even that doesn't last long.
谢皇上特赦，先行告退。
Outside, he runs into Yingluo.
哎，小姨子。
Yingluo is being quite friendly considering the situation, and Hongzhou doesn't know her well enough to realize that she cannot possibly have forgiven him. In fact, he finds her attractive.
长得比她姐姐还漂亮。
After years of poor health, one of the previous emperor's consorts dies, and the Empress asks Yingluo to light some candles for her. Hongzhou spots her and follows her using the same trick as he did with her sister.
衣服脱了。
He finds her lighting the candles all alone.
你这是干什么来了？
Yingluo lies to him and pretends she was there to light a candle for her sister, making him think that he has something to threaten her with since maids aren't allowed to do that. He tries to pressure her into fooling around so he won't tell on her, and she requests he lets her talk to her sister about it first.
姐姐，今天璎珞特意来看你。
The smoke starts making him drowsy and he falls to the ground. He's just about passed out when Yingluo makes her move, going to strike him over the head with one of the heavy metal candle bases. He gets away and she chases him. He starts screaming for help, and since he's drawn the attention of everyone in the surrounding area, Yingluo is forced to change her plan. She also starts screaming for help. She tells the emperor that Hongzhou disguised himself and tried to attack her, and I mean, he is wearing the outfit. Hongzhou claims that she's framing him, but there's just no good story for how Yingluo could have somehow forced him to dress up as a eunuch and follow her into the woods. It's clearly he that attacked her.
畜生！你怎么能相信他呢？我是你亲兄弟啊！
The emperor has him detained to await his punishment and brings Yingluo inside for questioning. Yingluo's defense is airtight. The Empress did send her to light candles and she was carrying the items for that and nothing else. And then the Empress comes in and backs her story. Now, of course, at this point the Empress knows Yingluo and she knows what her relationship is with Hongzhou. There's no way she hasn't put together that Yingluo is lying about what happened. And yet,
可以用性命担保，璎珞绝没有说谎。
for what appears to be the first time ever, the Empress puts her foot down with her husband and tells him that she will not leave here without Yingluo. The Emperor looks a bit disturbed to see just how far the Empress will go to protect Yingluo, but tells her she can take her home. All the while, Hongzhou has been kneeling outside. His mother arrives, and when she hears what he's done, she could not be angrier. I was so worried we were gonna get one of those "my precious son could never do anything wrong" types, but she is here to teach. She ends up beating him so viciously that he passes out. Later that night, the Empress and Yingluo speak frankly. More animated than we've ever seen her, the Empress makes it clear that the Emperor could easily have killed her to cover this up, that she has no idea the lengths the Emperor could go to protect the only brother he grew up with.
本宫命令你，不可以再任性妄为，伤害和亲王，听到了没有？
Clearly, fighting against every bone in her body, Yingluo bows her head and swears that she will do as she asks. News gets out about the attempted assault, and considering how much people hated Hongzhou even before this, it's no surprise when people start calling for his head. The usually resolute emperor can't bring himself to give the order, but as Li Yu says, the only other option would be to kill Yingluo and shut everyone's mouths by removing the victim. The emperor looks absolutely horrified by Li Yu's suggestion, which is kind of ridiculous to me because I don't believe it if you tell me that an emperor who has seen the scheming in the harem, among the ministers, in his family, and even the horrors of war, that this person would be like, kill a nameless maid to protect my favorite brother? How could you even say such a horrendous thing? Hongzhou's mom goes to see Yingluo and beg her to drop the charges pretty much. Yingluo doesn't mince words.
要我原谅洪正，除非我姐姐活过来。你
There's nothing more to be said, and showing surprising understanding, Dowager Consort Yu says that she came to do her final duty as a mother, but she understands that what he did was unforgivable. They decide to let the chips fall where they will. What a great mom. From the conversations we've seen between Dowager Consort Yu and the Empress Dowager, Yu has always struggled with raising her unwieldy son, and he's grown to be this person despite her best efforts, not thanks to bad parenting. And yeah, sometimes the best parents in the world are somehow cursed with the worst children. I can't blame her for any of her actions so far, not begging the Emperor or the Empress Dowager or even coming to see Yingluo. He's her son and she doesn't want him to die, but she accepts that if that does happen, then these are the consequences of his actions. In fact, I'm so happy to see all the outrage in this fictional world where a man this powerful would actually get in trouble for hurting a random maid. There are two factors here that I feel are the real reason this has become such a big deal. One, people hate him. I doubt there would be this much of an uproar if he were better liked or respected. And two, Yingluo is the Empress's maid, so really he's insulted the mother of the nation. In any case, Hongzhou is clearly not used to all this accountability. Even when Yingluo was telling her heart-wrenching story of just how much he took away from her by killing his sister, you can just see him thinking, dude, she's crazy, how do I get out of this? But for once, people are not letting him get away with whatever he wants, and he is gobsmacked.
一定杀了这个贱人！
Can I just say, Fu Hong was quite hot in that confrontation scene.
你记住，以后看见魏璎珞，请你马上掉头离开。
I really, truly don't even know how I feel about Fu Hong's decision to tell Hongzhou. I can understand why he did it, but for me, it boils down to Yingluo is still gonna go after him and get her revenge, so there was either option A, she gets her revenge with the advantage of him not realizing she's after him, or option B, you tip him off and now Yingluo has to get her revenge with the disadvantage of having her identity revealed. Oh, and her sister is also now married to her rapist, so yeah, what did you accomplish, Fu Hong? Alright, so now Yingluo has sworn to the Empress that she will not seek further revenge, and I honestly don't think she would ever lie to the Empress, which makes me curious to see how this turns out. Because the whipping was nice, but nowhere near enough. Till next time, thanks for watching.